Hey, ladies and gents, we're back with the iconic plane review, and this is going to be yeah, this is the A6M 2, the Zero, the infamous Zero. Um, it was designed in 1938. The Japanese Navy were calling for a replacement for the A5 in 1937. They were approached Nakajima and Mitsubishi, and Mitsubishi was able to develop this plane. And the problem with it is that the Navy put some very stringent requirements for it, including its endurance and its ability to stay in the air for long periods of time, which was not easy to do. And to do it, the Mitsubishi ended up making this thing super light to be able to pull off the endurance and the range that the Navy required. In doing so, caused problems obviously later on with the aircraft. I mean, obviously in game it burns like it burns like a piece of paper, and this is kind of, like I said, drawn from that requirement made by the Japanese Navy in making this thing super light, because then they didn't put in like self-sealing fuel tanks, that kind of stuff, because it added too much weight. This thing was almost 3,000 pounds lighter than an F4. I mean, just think about that, a ton and a half lighter than its counterpart in the Pacific. They built 11,000. I mean, by 1944, this thing was obviously obsolete, but they continued to build these into 1945, and they built 11,000 of them. And in 1940, it was considered the best carrier-based aircraft in the world. Um, when the Allies first ran into these planes in actual air combat, the Zeros racked up to a 12-to-1 kill to death ratio, flying against rather obsolete planes at the time, and there was no tactics for a plane that could literally, uh, you know, the turn radius on this thing was just stupid good. Um, and they would get into dogfights with the Zeros, of course, and they would run into all kinds of problems because you can't outturn a Zero. So, like I said, after the first part of the war, they ended up developing different tactics, most notably the Thatcher Weave. Um, then, of course, you also had Schmaltz and the Flying Tigers in China, developing techniques with the P-40. They learned, instead of dogfighting, just simply they would get to altitude above it, dive down, take a burst out of it, and then climb to altitude. These things, obviously, the Zero does not have the altitude ability that the P-40s did. Yeah, so fought all during World War II. Like I said, by 1944, was completely outclassed by all the new aircraft that were coming from the Allies, and was flown by the vast majority of the Japanese aces. Um, it was over Pearl Harbor. It fought all the way up until the end when it was used as kamikazes. Very impressive aircraft when you think about it. Uh, with the fact that it was designed, in the late 30s, and was still relatively, in 1943, even with the new developments on the aircraft, it was still relevant as a fighter. It went through many different changes. I mean, you go through the obviously, if you look at the text, the A6M2, the A6M5, and they kept upgrading the aircraft as they went. Like I said, the problem with it is they always had, with the airframe as light as it was, they could not do a whole lot with it. Obviously bigger engines and all that kind of stuff. And eventually they put in self-sealing fuel tanks, but then it lost a little bit of its maneuverability and all that stuff. So yeah, very impressive aircraft. Not a lot of them exist around the world. Most of them were rebuilt from several different salvaged airplanes. You can find them in a couple different kind of museums. But yeah, very interesting aircraft. So what do we have in game? Well, what we have in game is a absolute turn beast. Look at the maneuverability at 94. Altitude performance is absolutely horrid. Gun armament, not bad. And survivability is just terrible. This thing burns and burns and burns. Um, it is what it is. I mean, you like to turn and burn. This is the aircraft for you. All the way up to the Tier 7, A7, the A7M. Yeah, these planes will literally outturn everything in game. There's not much that can touch them getting into a turn fight. What we have in the actual plane here is two 20 millimeters and two 7.7s. This is what the historical armament was for this aircraft. They talked about this. Some of the Japanese aces would talk about, with the 7.7s and trying to shoot down F4s and how tough they were. Sometimes 500-600 rounds of 7.7, and they still couldn't bring down an F4. I used to, say, yeah, well, the F4 is, just that tough of a plane. But majority of the time, they were kind of a weak set of guns. Especially if they turned off the 20s and weren't able to shoot down the enemy plane. So yeah, this is amazing that they actually put in the standard real armament that this aircraft carried, which is of course the two 7.7s and the two 20s. Yeah, very interesting aircraft. We will look at. I'll have some gameplay here for you guys to take a look at. I usually run on my pilots. It's been a long time. I had moved pilots up a long time ago. I usually run fire resistance, of course, and aerodynamics expert, followed by lightweight airframe, control surface, and some improved reflector sight to help out with the spray and pray on this plane. Yeah, make sure you carry a fire extinguisher. Make sure you carry, no matter your starter, make sure you carry something for them very delicate wings. This thing is a super soft plane. Yeah, you are going to wreck everything that you can get on the tail behind, but you're going to get wrecked by everything that even closely hits you. Engine shot out, wings shot out, you're on fire. Yeah, it's epic fun. So, hope you guys enjoyed the first part of the video. I'll be bringing up some gameplay for you guys to check out this plane. We'll see you guys there. Okay, we are back with the gameplay in the A6M2. Enjoying the new changes they made in this patch so far. The cinematics, it's not looking too bad. I definitely can't complain about that. They did change some of the zoom, and I'll show you in another game here what I'm talking about. It's looking good, and I didn't crash one time. I still have a little problem with the frame rates, but I don't know if it was necessarily because I was, at the time, downloading another video game. So yeah, there could have been a possibility that was causing my issue, but we'll see here. Got the center mining plant, and I'm not going to deal with that right off the bat here. Remember, this thing doesn't like to get shot. Anti-aircraft will literally just kill you with this thing. So I'm going to run over here to the airfield. We're going to pick up the airfield quick. And for all you guys, I switched to the metric system. This was fun. I'm like, I'm looking at the plane. I'm like, yeah, why is it that it says 1200? I should be able to shoot it. So it took a little bit of getting used to. Once again, you'd think after this many years of playing wargaming games and the fact that they're all in the metric system anyway, this was the one game where we didn't have, we had Imperial. But whatever. So I switched over back to metric, so you guys are done. You Canadians can stop giving me, hassling me about it. So we win the airfield. I'm going to drop down in here on the BF-109B. They've taken the center objective, and this should be interesting. I got a Spitfire 1A, another A6M2, and I do have a couple planes with me, so I'm going to try to work out this Spitfire 1 right here quick. Put a pretty nice little burst into him, and like I said, he has no chance to get on me. I better work on the A6M2 because he is actually my biggest threat when I get into a turn fight like this. And you just noticed how quickly this thing can flip. That ridiculous maneuverability on this aircraft. So I flip back up on the A6M2, and I know I'm kind of going to be in trouble here because there's too many red planes right here, and they're all over me. So I got the Spitfire 1A turning and burning with me too. We got the A6M2, and he comes in and finishes me off. So, that wasn't fun. But that's alright. We got the airfield right off the bat. We pick up the other airfield too. And this is looking a little bit better now. We have both caps. And I'm going to come in here and try to knock out some planes here. Specifically that ground attack plane. Pick up the BSH down below. And I'm just going to drop in on him. Start giving him the who's what. And pick up the H-112 coming over the top, and we're almost ready to lose this. So I decided to go for the less HP target to try to kind of get it turned back a little bit. Yeah, there we go. I mean, when you get the 220s hitting on this thing, they do wonders. There, we pick him up, knock him off, finish him off. And I kind of like the little destroyed by AA guns and all that stuff on the other side. That's kind of cool. That was another feature added to the new 2.0.4 gameplay. So pick up the next target, and we've turned this back to mostly blue, which was a lot better than almost not blue. So pick up the next ground attack, knock him out. We're turning around here. We got center again. Alright, so now I got a sizable force with me this time, and hopefully they're not all going to die. I'm going to pick up some targets here and what I want to shoot at. I got the Lag 3. The Lag 3, he's my biggest opponent right now, or I should say my biggest opponent. My most dangerous opponent being a human. Flip back up over here. Let's finish these guys off. They're a little too far away. I don't have to deal with them right off the bat. Lag 3, he's not paying attention. Goes straight on, nail him, knock him out. Now I'm going to spin it around here and see if I can find anything else. Find the F4. Yeah, there you are, buddy. F4F. Yep, that's a fatty, alright. 3,000 pounds lighter than this plane. Or 3,000 pounds heavier than this plane. So I pick up the KI-43, staying on him till he's finished. And now I got the A6M2 in center here. He's not paying attention, so I'm going to run over there and give him a 20 millimeter wake-up call. Spitfire shows back up again. I don't know if he was in gunning for me, but he's going to get into a turn fight with me, which isn't always the best. Nails me with his wing. Unfortunately, that's not going to help you out, buddy, because I'm right in here. Gets his engine knocked out, and he is down for the count. So, got some GAs coming in here. Put a couple passes on them. See if we can knock out some more damage here. We've got the 3 caps already taken. And now it's just a matter of mopping up the bad guys. Yeah, pick up the LBSH. He's almost dead. See if we can get this up a little bit higher. I really wanted to wing legend out of this deal, but yeah, wasn't going to happen. So, after a pretty nice 12,190 combat. Alright guys, back with the second game in the A6M2. Top tier, love that shit. And we're going to go up to altitude because I know there's going to be some heavy fighters over here at the military base. And there's a good chunk of human players on tonight, which is always nice. And we're going to drop in on here. We got the bullfighters coming down. And we don't really, surprise, the bots are a little bit better. They didn't all run off to center or one way or another. So maybe there's going to be some changes. I don't know. Pick up the bullfighter, flip around. Oh, there you are, buddy, coming back in. We're going to see if we can catch him out here. You know what? Once again, with the 20s on here, you got just a little bit more reach on it. Yeah, so we can get him. Yep, picked that up. Picked up the military base, and now back to center. Now, I did notice that, yeah, there wasn't, the bot behavior was still pretty similar. It says, I'm not sure what kind of changes they actually made. You know, they kept coming back to middle for most part of it here. So, apparently he didn't get the bug fixed, because he is AFK as fuck, and gone. But yeah, go ahead and shoot me in the ass, because I really appreciate that AFK player. Pick up the boomerang right off the bat, flip around, got another boomerang. Yeah, let's get him too. Finish him off. And we're almost ready to flip this cap. Got a boomerang. I don't know why. They have a tendency to focus on me. I don't know if they don't like me, or maybe they saw some of my videos about how much I don't like certain bots. I don't know. So, yep, see Kendall. Yeah, he knows who I am. I personally don't know. And my first fire of the night. Yeah. So he's on the run, and I'm not gonna chase him. He's out. He's gonna be out of the objective here shortly. He's not really worth the time or effort. I'm gonna flip back around here and start dealing with all this red that is currently flowing into my objective. We have three objectives to, or actually we have three to their one objective, and currently our missile base is up and running. So I'm going to pick up the easy kill in the MiG-3, knock out the low hit point planes first, finish him off, flip up and over. The Yak-1, he's giving me a nice broadside. We'll put a pummeling on his ass, and he flips over. Yep, and we're going to finish him off. I love it when they give me their wings like that. P-38's running through here. Hey, you know, and surprise, I didn't have too much ping problem tonight. I only stayed right around that 25 or so for ping, or for frames per second, which is sometimes better than the 8 I've had as of late. So, see if I can get a little more altitude. You know, 800, 900 meters. It just sounds weird. Meters. So, back on the P-40. Let's see if we can finish him off before he gets away on me. Yeah, there you are, buddy. And Leo is going to give me a little bit more to shoot at. Nailed him. The other P-40 M105 finished him off. So I got the Tomahawk coming in here. Luo, I'm not sure exactly what that is, but we're going to jump on him here. I really don't want to go head-to-head with this plane too much with those big-ass cannons, but I pick him up anyway, because he couldn't hit me. Must be my camouflage. Back to center. I got the Spitfire 1, the Gray Weasel. Yeah, he's dead. So, Falkwolf, Wilhelm up on top. We're just going to see what we can get up here, if we can get up high enough to do it. But he's running out that way, and I'm not going to chase him for too much further. I'm going to take up instead this P-40 that just came in. And we're going to see if we can pick up. Yeah, there we go. Give me your rear. 20 start working on him. I'm going to let it cool off a little bit, and put another burst into him. Yeah, there we go. Finally got him. And flip around. We got the other P-40 coming back in here again. He doesn't seem terribly interested in me, which is fine. We're just going to see if we can kill him one more time. He dives down, puts it in a vertical, and he goes straight up. I use what little boost I have left to see if I can stay on his rear and finish him off. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. You ever have that moment where you're just yelling at the screen, why don't you fucking die already? And they don't. It's kind of disturbing, actually. Mr. Bullfighter's back. Apparently he hasn't reconnected, because yeah, there he goes. Straight on through. We'll give him a couple shots as he goes by. I thought maybe I'll get lucky, get a fire on him, but he doesn't. Flip back around, and his rear gunner's still shooting me. Pick up the Spitfire 1. He's of course my biggest threat. We're going to put out some numbers on the Yak-1. I'm looking, I'm waiting for the Spitfire to turn back into me, so give me his broadside like that. Yeah, there we go. Pick up the Gray Weasel from the rear. Yeah, and he's not in a real, you know, I got the jump on him. I was able to get around in behind him here and start working him over here with the 20s. Get him down to 2 hit points, and then diving, ducking, diving, dodging, and finally, maybe, no, sure, finally got him. Puts me at a grade 4 fighter. I got the Yak-1 coming back again. Procor. Yeah, there you go, buddy. Try to go in the vertical. He stalls out about as bad as I do. I take a pummeling from somebody. Of course, the bot. Boomerangs are so dead, so dangerous. Turn around, see if we can knock him out. Finish it off. Get air supremacy. And flip over. One more target. Come on. See if we can get him Come on, Yak 1. Oh, don't get him. Failed to finish him off and did not get